Love traveling and need ideas about where to go? You have come to the right place. Like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications for new videos and new ideas for places to visit. Also comment if you have visited any of these places before or if there is a certain place you would like to see in the next video. Counting down 10 haunted places in New York City. Number 10. St. Paul's Chapel. St. Paul's Chapel has survived a lot of tragedies since its opening in 1766, and its graveyard, which dates to 1697, it is said to be haunted by many of its occupants. One of the 17th century graves belongs to the English actor George Frederick Cooke, who loved to gamble. When he lost all of his money, he sold his head for research, and a headless ghost has been seen wandering the graveyard and a nearby alley where there used to be a theater. Number 9. Tweed Courthouse. William Boss Tweed left tales of terror across the city, but ironically, it's the eponymous courthouse where he was sentenced for his crimes that his spirit reportedly likes to revisit. He was sentenced in 1873 and died 5 years later in prison. Tweed has been spotted in the courtroom where he was sentenced, and in one instance, the night watchman became so frightened by noises and ghostly figures in the corridors that they refused to enter the building. Number 8. The Manhattan Well. In the winter of 1800, the body of a young woman named Gulielma Sands was found at the bottom of the Manhattan Well, located at what is now 129 Spring Street. The ensuing trial was one of the great scandals of 19th century New York, with Levi Weeks, brother of influential builder Ezra Weeks, accused of her murder after he reportedly impregnated and promised to marry her. Weeks retained the city's top attorneys, including Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton, and was acquitted, despite growing public outrage. In 1817, the Manhattan Well was filled in and built over, but it was rediscovered in 1980, and is now home to an outpost of Swedish clothing brand Kiss. Number 7. 85 West 3rd Street. Now part of NYU's Furman Hall, 85 West 3rd Street was occupied by Edgar Allan Poe for 8 months in 1844 and 1845. It was there that he wrote his classic story The Cask of Amontillado and at least part of The Raven. Nowadays, the only part of the original residence that remains is the banister, and Poe's ghost has been seen climbing it by spooked law students. Number 6. 84 West 3rd Street. Right across the street from 85 West 3rd is another haunted building, a disused fire station converted into a private residence, and home to Anderson Cooper. The building is apparently haunted by the ghost of firefighter Schwartz, who hanged himself from the rafters after learning of his wife's infidelity in 1930. Over the years, firefighters have reported strange noises coming from the attic, and have even seen his hanging corpse. Number 5. Merchant's House Museum. While some haunted houses might attempt to shed their notorious reputations, the Merchant's House Museum in the East Village revels in it. Built in 1832 and later bought by wealthy merchant Seabury Treadwell, the museum is an immaculate look into the personal domestic lives of the 19th century cultural elite, but the ghost of Treadwell's daughter, Gertrude, a lonely, sheltered spinster whose life was supposedly the basis of Henry James Washington Square Park, reportedly still haunts the place. Number 4. Washington Square Park. Today it's overrun with NYU students and street artists, but long before any New Yorkers moved in, the land that's now Washington Square Park was used as a burial ground. During yellow fever outbreaks from 1791 to 1821, the city used the land as a mass grave. The park was established in 1827, a year after human remains were accidentally dug up during a parade. Archaeologists recently uncovered more human remains below the park. Number 3. St. Mark's Church in the Bowery. St. Mark's Church in the Bowery is the second oldest church in Manhattan, splitting from Trinity Church in 1799. Built on Dutch colonial Governor Peter Stuyvesant's family farm, legend has it that the cantankerous, peg-legged Dutchman still haunts the area. He's been known to harass clergymen and parishioners, ring the bells, and loudly interrupt services by stomping around and singing Calvinist hymns in Dutch. Apparently, English Episcopal hymns simply don't agree with him. Number 2. 12 Gay Street. Gay Street is arguably one of the most picturesque blocks in New York, and the quaint brick townhouse at number 12 is no exception. The building served as a speakeasy called the Pirates' Den during Prohibition and was purchased by the corrupt, yet wildly popular, Mayor Jimmy Walker as a home for his mistress, Ziegfeld girl Betty Compton. Neighbors insist that ghostly flappers and the Gay Street Phantom, a dapper gent in a cloak and top hat, still lurk late at night. If that's not creepy enough, the property was later bought by Frank Paris, the creator of notorious Hell puppet Howdy Doody. Number 1. 14 West 10th Street. This beautiful townhouse has been called the most haunted building in New York, with as many as 22 ghosts calling it home, earning it the sobriquet the House of Death. Mark Twain lived here from 1900 to 1901 and claimed that he himself had experienced supernatural incidents. Throughout the 20th century, 14 West 10th Street was the site of several gruesome incidents, including a murder-suicide and the beating death of 6-year-old Lisa Steinberg at the hands of her adopted father, prominent attorney Joel Steinberg, in 1987. The specter of Twain himself, white suit and all, has been seen ascending the staircase. If you like the video, please like, comment and hit that subscribe button for more videos.